Hey, Alchemist. Welcome to or welcome back to Arcane Alchemy. If you're new here, hello, welcome. I'm the Mystical Medium. On this channel, I co-create with Source Consciousness to bring you real practical tools and messages that are going to help you along your journey of remembering your full multidimensional magic and becoming the divine alchemist of your reality, the conscious co-creator, so that life is no longer living you, but you are truly living and flowing with your life, manifesting and easily attracting and aligning everything that you've ever dreamt of and desired. If you found this video, it's not by chance. I'm popping up on your feed because I carry codes of alchemization that you entrusted me with before we came to play human in this lifetime. Now it's my honor and joy to give those back to you. Today we're going to be talking about something that is very, very important. And it's the art of protecting your peace, of knowing when to speak and when not to. Because see, my friends, sometimes we do need to speak up. We need to use our throat chakra. We need to use our voice to empower, hold our boundary, and move through something with someone. And then there's other times where us speaking up is actually not going to do anything beneficial. It's not going to help a situation. It's not going to create an outcome that protects our peace, that protects our own energy. So how do you learn to dance between the two? How do you know when it's time to speak up and when it's time to just walk away? Well, one of the best ways to do this is to tune into your intuition, to check in with your energy field in that moment, to put yourself in the future and be like, all right, if I say this phrase right now, what are the potential outcomes from that? How is this person going to potentially respond? Do I need to tweak my words? Do I need to say something a little bit differently than maybe I want to, so that I'm not coming from a place of reaction, but rather responsiveness? Or is it going to fall on deaf ears? Is this person going to just completely disregard or not hear what I have to say, which means I'm giving energy to something that is null and void? So take a moment when you're in those type of like confrontational situations, or those situations where you feel like you want to respond, but you start to feel your energy change. Take a step back, become the divine observer, and see, okay, is this going to protect my peace by speaking up right now? Or is it better for me to just walk away or block that person or not respond to that comment on that post or whatever it may be? Check in with yourself. Your higher self can see the whole situation, the whole realm of possibilities. So you already know what's going to happen if you just take a moment and take a step back. Feel into the energy exchange, because that's what you're about to engage in either way. But not having a response to that is sometimes the best thing. And it can be hard, especially if we have a lot of pride. This is why it's very, very important as we go along our spiritual journey to check our ego, to check where we are being prideful, right? Because it's not helpful. If you get in an ego and a power struggle with someone else that's also operating out of an ego mindset, there's no winning there. There's no coming out on top. Your energy is going to end up being drained to something that's not profitable, when you could be turning your attention, your focus to something that feels good, something that's creative, something that brings you joy, love, positivity, peace. Because my friend, if it doesn't protect your peace, and if it doesn't feel good in your body, it's not for you. So really tune into the energy of, okay, this energy exchange that I'm about to engage in, what am I going to benefit from this? Is this an area where I feel like my boundaries were crossed and it is important for me to step up and voice that? Okay, let's go through that. Let's move through that. Now, I make sure that you check your own field and you know how to hold your own field before you go into a type of conversation like this, because the other person, especially if they're used to you operating in a different frequency than you're about to show up into, because as we grow and evolve, that's what happens. That's what changes. And people don't like us to change. They don't want us to evolve. They want to keep us in this box, right, of playing at the same level as them. And they want to emotionally keep you at the same level as them, so they feel justified in reacting and responding the way that they are in a situation. So before you go into a situation where you know there's going to be confrontation, strengthen your energy field, put yourself in the future, play out all of the scenarios of the ways the conversation can go, and breathe. Be like, all right, I'm going to use the power of my breath to stay grounded, to stay rooted in my power, in my peace. No one is going to disrupt my peace. No one is going to take my energy from me. Regardless of how they respond, I can still be quiet in my peace and in my power. And so sometimes we have to do a little bit of both. Sometimes we have to speak up. We have to say when a boundary has been crossed. And then the way that the other person reacts or responds, it tells us everything that we need to know about whether we need to just remove ourselves and go on with our lives, or if it could be a chance for growth for both people. So I hope you found this helpful, because this is a very, very important topic, especially for empaths and people that consider themselves highly empathic. Empathy without boundaries is self-destruction, my friend. We have to be very, very strong in our energetic boundaries. Okay? So learn how to hold your field regardless of how other people are responding or reacting. Know when it's important to speak your truth and the way to speak it. But then also know when it's best to just stay quiet, when it's best to just move on, block, not respond. Because that is what we can control. We can control ourselves. So don't let anyone steal your energy. Don't let anyone steal your peace. Protect that at all costs. Be the magic, my friend. Until next time. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'd love to have you around. Share this video if you feel like someone else that you know needs this message, because this is very, very important. But until next time, be the magic.